Withinword pattern stage. What is it? This stage is a transitional stage of literacy development between the beginning stage when students' reading and writing are quite labored and the intermediate stage when they can read and write a variety of genres more fluently. Characteristics are reading fluency, writing fluency, vocabulary, word sorts, and pattern layer. As the students transition into this stage, their reading fluency increases. Readers read most single words accurately when they read at the level best suited and challenging them, but is still manageable. They also read many 2 and 3 syllable words when there is the appropriate support. During this stage, students move from the full alphabetic phase to the consolidated alphabetic phase. Full alphabetic phase is processing a word like shirt as 4 or 5 letters to match the sounds. Consolidated alphabetic phase is processing a word like shirt as 2 chunks. This allows them to decode and store words more readily, and their sight word vocabulary grows quickly. They can then read in phrases and with more expression. When students enter this stage, they still usually read out loud. However, with lots of practice, they can read silently by the end of this stage. Students who are able to read independently without any support. Students can discuss text in greater depth than they did as beginning readers. Lots of reading experience is crucial during this stage. Encourage your children to read independently at home for at least 30 minutes a day. As you may have guessed, writing also becomes more fluent during this stage. Students can spell many words on their own. Because of the increase of fluency in writing, students can focus on creating ideas in their writing and how to make it more expressive. Estimates will vary, but students during this stage can on average learn 10 to 15 new words a week and be able to speak the words and know what they mean. When adults make it a habit to grow a child or student's vocabulary and makes it fun, it increases the child or student's word consciousness. This means that it sparks curiosity in the child to focus on words that improve their development. You do not want to confuse vocabulary with spelling or phonics instruction. Vocabulary refers to meaning and concept. The words students may read and study for meaning are more complex than those they study for spelling. Vocabulary words you can use are butterfly and fraction. Spelling words could be wing or math. It is important that students know the meaning of words. Before reading, go over familiar and unfamiliar words from the book. During this stage, students will come across homonyms and homographs. Homonyms are words that are spelled the same but have different meanings. I heard a dog bark. I picked up tree bark from the sidewalk. Homographs are words that are spelled alike but have different meanings. I like to read. I read a great book today. Pattern layers are patterns of letter sequences rather than individual letters themselves that represent vowel sounds. This requires students to think because they have to isolate the phonemes to determine the sounds they need to represent, but also choose from a variety of patterns that represent the same phoneme, which usually involves silent letters as part of the vowel spelling or special consonant patterns. So the E in cute, GH in through, I in suit, and for consonant patterns, the DGE in lodge or TCH in itch. There are a lot of reasons why the same phoneme may be spelled with different patterns. How words are spelled may depend on their histories and origins. How vowel sounds are spelled may depend on their position within a word. For example, the words say and rain. The AY sounds are usually always at the end, and the AI sounds are in the middle of words. How vowel sounds are spelled may depend on sounds next to them. How vowel words are spelled may depend on the meaning of the word. For example, window pane, P-A-N-E, or like physical pain, like P-A-I-N. Let's review. Full alphabetic phase is processing a word as 4 or 5 letters to match sounds. Consolidated alphabetic phase is processing a word as 2 chunks. Silent reading, students can read independently with no support and discuss a text with more detail. Writing fluency increases and students can focus on writing ideas. Vocabulary increases each week. Students need to understand the meaning of new and familiar words. They will see many homonyms in homographs. Pattern layers are patterns of letter sequences rather than individual letters themselves that represent vowel sounds. And what can you, as a parent, do at home to help your children with developing further with this stage? You can grow their vocabulary at home using sophisticated language and daily interactions. You can comment on their words throughout the day, so like if they're using new words, I think you should comment on it, like great job on using that new word today. You can focus doing on read alouds at home. You can do family reading night, just read with your children. And you can also have them just practice the homonyms and homographs, practice writing out the words, spelling the words, the definitions, and what they are.